Hello. Welcome to this wonderful time together where we get to explore the fourth trimester, or otherwise known as postpartum, after birth. And we call it the fourth trimester because it's the first 3 months after the baby is born, similar to the first trimester, second trimester, third trimester, and now fourth. This is a part 1 of a 4-part series, and so I hope you stick around for the rest of them. As we know, postpartum is forever. We're going to get into what postpartum is, portals to think about, portals of support, better said, to think about. And then as you identify gaps or, opportunities to help yourself, this is going to list out different ways that you can work with myself or other doulas in your area. So what is postpartum? It really is just this time period referring to after a baby is born. It's the state that the mother is in, and you are in that state forever. You're always post-birth, right? It is forever. But I wanted to clarify that this is not synonymous to postpartum depression. We do not shorten that terminology. We're going to get into a little bit more about what that is. One thing that's really amazing to consider is the story of lobsters. When female lobsters want to mate, they choose someone who looks really tough and has the ability to protect them. This is because when they give birth, they have to, or when they receive eggs, they have to shed their entire exoskeleton in order to do so. Now, after they receive the eggs from the male, they're going to be in a state of recovery, right? So they're going to slowly build back their exoskeleton over the course of about 2 weeks. And you can imagine if they did not have a good support system, i.e. this partner that they chose. For humans, maybe, you can see where I'm going. If you do not feel safe, cared for, protected in this really delicate time, you're quite vulnerable to illnesses, bad energy, having bad nutrition leads to bad healing. And so as this lobster is now recovering for the next 2 weeks, that exoskeleton protected a very soft inner tissue. And then once that is completed, she's going to go off and live her life, right? And so consider your fourth trimester as this really delicate space of time in which you do not have that exoskeleton of protection. A lot of times when people visit you or in this postpartum space, the first question is how the baby is. What's the baby need? How's the baby doing? But you too are really fresh, delicate, albeit resilient. But remember, that hard exoskeleton of protection is no longer there. Your emotions may feel closer to the surface. It's harder to mask when you've walked too long or you've held too much space. And so prioritizing this healing and having a mental state of curiosity in early postpartum, we actually set up a really strong foundation for the next 50 or 40, rolls off the tongue better, 40 years of postpartum. So what you're doing is really laying the groundwork for yourself in the years to come. All right. So the needs of human, it's really written within our bones, right? As you look around to these different terms, community, active joy, healing, kin keeper, right? Family space keeper, nourishment. Maybe someone's blocking those visitors that want to pile in. You can consider which of these are really standing out to you that you want to prioritize and make sure is, on the forefront for yourself. Your personal needs are going to vary, but in general, over, what all women need after childbirth, good nutrition, people, right, support, family, lactation support, etc. Those are pretty much the same. It does sometimes come down to your own mindset for how those things feel on your on your well-being, right? So take a moment here that we're going to consider this wheel of postpartum needs, borrowing from ancient or Birdsong, a really great company here in Brooklyn. And just take a moment and consider what is going to be your own priority in postpartum, where you already feel that you might be lacking,